This place was recommended to me by a viewer, so I'm very grateful. I became interested in this archaeological site, did some research, and off we went. I arrived there yesterday. Let me tell you right away. I've been watching a YouTube documentary about two girls visiting Machu Picchu a few days ago. And I tell you, walking through the ruins of Castelar de Mecca, I had the impression that you don't have to travel 10,000 kilometers to see incredible ancient ruins. In fact, Spain is home to so many extraordinary archaeological sites, many of which are completely accessible and almost never visited. Getting down to the details. Castelar de Mecca sits on a broad, flat plateau, 1050 meters above sea level. The terrain makes it a natural fortress. This spot offers a magnificent view on the fertile plains that surround the hill. It's no wonder that the caves in the slope of the mountain were inhabited as early as the Stone Age. However, the place is most famous from its history from 6th to 4th century BC. The Iberian Contestani tribe turned this place into an important fortress and a boosting settlement, active for several centuries. Deep roots carved in the limestone rocks testify to the intensive use of the mountain. There are kilometers of roads like this. Some of them are cut deep into the rocks so that carts could move up and down freely, without excessive terrain inclination. From the foot of the mountain to the summit is vertical distance of 400 meters. It's clear that the settlement on the summit was very important, since they devoted so much effort preparing this ancient highway. Near the only possible route from the bottom, they built a large bastion, the stone remains of which are clearly visible to this day. The summit of the hill is naturally extremely defensible. Practically all around is protected by rock walls up to 100 meters high. Yet, the ancient Iberians built additional walls in places when someone might have thought of an assault. The most astonishing are these huge walls, built from limestone blocks weighing hundreds of kilograms. Archaeologists call them Cyclopean walls. But there are also smaller walls made of ordinary stones. To store food and water, numerous large chambers were carved into the rock at the top of the hill. The largest is 20 meters long and 4 meters high and 4 meters deep. The scale of the work carried out by ancient inhabitants of Castelar de Mecca is staggering. Walking around this site for hours, you're constantly amazed. This stone-carved street is particularly impressive. It's fascinating how high developed these Indo-European inhabitants of Iberian Peninsula were. Later, the genetic makeup of these lands never again was such a purely Indo-European, as the Semitic Phoenicians arrived in 5th century and later the Arabs in 8th century, creating a genetic mix in Spain that exists to this day. But returning to antiquity, the geopolitics of Iberian Peninsula changed significantly during the Carthaginian domination in the 3rd century BC. The location now was no longer strategically crucial, as the Iberian tribes no longer fought among themselves as a new, more powerful player emerged. The same applies in later centuries, when Spain was pacified by the Romans. Castellar de Mecca significantly declined in importance, but it remained in existence and continued to function as a great observation point and stronghold until the Middle Ages, when the strategic importance greatly increased again as the Moors needed heavily fortified locations to repel attacks by Christian kingdoms from the north. In the 13th century, however, the hill was retaken as a part of Reconquista, and in 1348 the Black Death arrived, decimating the inhabitants, and since then no one has permanently lived there. I highly recommend visiting this place if you're in the Valencia or Alicante area. The location on Google Maps is in the description of the video.